Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Hello Harem Podcast. I'm your host, Alex Luby, and I'm joined, as always, by the horniest homies to sail the seven seas, Mr. Jonathan Semrau, Anthony Luby, Luke Farnsworth, Neil, and we have a very special guest with us tonight, the man, the myth, the legend from America, but we just say he's from Australia, Mr. Nathan Lawbacher, a.k.a. Corporal.
Arrgh, I finally get to sail the horny seas with the homies.
Welcome aboard, sailor.
Welcome aboard the horny ship where you'll be scrubbing my poop deck nightly.
This is just a quick reference. Nate is the man behind the music that we use.
He is. Our intro music that you hear, and most of it in the Hello Harem videos, Corporal is the producer for that music.
Corporal's actually the manager of the Hello Harem Podcast.
Also a manager of a very well-known esports team called Frick Esports. Shout out real quick.
Shouts Frick Esports. Frick will be in the description below.
That's a name I haven't heard pop up in a while. It's Frick. How was Frick doing?
You know, Frick taking a bit of a break from the main game right now, Rocket League. That I managed all the back end, all the tournaments. You know, I was PR. I was everything behind the scenes, and sometimes I'd hop in threes. But you know, right now everybody needed a break just because it was just too much.
Do you run the Twitter for Frick?
I have access, but I don't run it.
Nate, could you get like slightly?
Oh, I'm right in the mic now. Yes, sir.
All right, looks good.
You can move it a little closer to your face if you need to. I don't think he needs the pop filter, does he?
No, he has a very calm voice, unlike...
Yeah. Fuck you.
I just heard someone across from Anthony.
How about you bend over and take it up the rear, pal? I'll deliver you a shafting like none other.
Yeah, I think he'll pass on that. But how's everyone doing tonight? Exciting night.
Exciting night tonight. I don't know if we've talked about this on the podcast, but I have a tendency to shit myself. Specifically when I eat at a restaurant called Melt. We ate there tonight, and since we left, I've been experiencing incredible amounts of stomach pressure, and I just went to the bathroom and, dude, nothing's coming, but there will be a reckoning. It's coming.
It's like the Papa John.
Once we see him start sweating, we know it's
if
coming.
At any point during this episode of the podcast I say, can we take a break, you pause it, because I'm going to be running.
It won't be time to pause. You'll be out the door.
Yeah. So it's going to be a rather labored episode for me. Luke?
Well, today's Saturday, February 13th, and tomorrow is Valentine's Day, as we all know. Mm-hmm. And for those of you at home that don't know, it is Valentine's Day. We will be your Valentine, and your gift to us could be a like, a comment, and subscribe on YouTube, and I would really appreciate that.
Or, as opposed to a like, a subscribe, and a share on YouTube, you could just send us feet pics. We're always down for feet pics.
Adam?
Send your feet pics to helloharempodcast@gmail.com. We will be happy to look at your feet, and we will be even happier to make a video where we review the feet pics of our viewers.
To our Spotify listeners, you could follow the podcast on Spotify, to our Apple Podcast. Is that what it is?
Apple Podcast.
And Anchor.
Download it, and Anchor.
It's on like 20 platforms.
Yeah, it's on a lot.
Give us some positive feedback. Also, for Valentine's Day, send show. Happy Valentine's Day. Will you please be my Valentine? I love you. I'm still single.
Oh, God. What was the thing that Luke sent in the group chat today that made you...
It was yesterday.
Or was it yesterday?
Yeah.
Where he sent, like, I want send show to a... What was it?
Hold on.
Yeah.
He saved it because I was like, out of everything I sent yesterday, that was the only thing that got saved.
Dude, it was so
Really?
funny.
Yeah, that was the only thing.
Aside from like lewds and stuff.
Fucking don't out us like that.
Dude, I've actively proclaimed how I had to delete things off my phone because I had no storage.
We've all mentioned we have like 600 plus saved.
But between the four of us, we probably have upwards of 6,000
I
lewds.
think they might have like a saber.
It's bad.
Me, I probably have within 10, 15 that I saved just because like they're funny, but
Absolute rookie number.
It was last night at 10:31
Yeah.
p.m. I want Sencho to kick me in the fucking balls.
I was like, that's not even like erotic. That is punishment.
The other thing that got saved by me was you better scramble like an egg before you get folded like an omelet.
I read that, Luke, and I did not laugh my ass
And
off.
it was like, out of everything I said yesterday, I was like, man, I'm really on something today. These are a lot of one-offs, and nothing got saved but those two things.
I want Sencho to kick me in the fucking balls.
So I had a story that I thought about.
Yeah.
Alex will know. It happened a couple years ago. No, it's not that. It has nothing to do with me being an idiot.
Okay.
In
Oh, wow, okay.
It has to do with me and my car. Just, I didn't do anything. So a while ago, our buddy Matt, if you're listening, because I know you will be probably to this episode since Corporal's on, Matt had, there was a problem. Something happened at college, and he was home and he was pretty sad. He was bummed out. He came over to my house and we were drinking a little bit, and he got on Tinder and he's like, hey, do you want to come with me? Like, we'll just go. He met this girl, matched, and we went to go pick her up because we were just going to go vibe. I'm like, yeah, sure. Matt's sad. We'll help out Matt. Alex, you know where I'm going with this?
I remember. I know
Yeah,
this story.
yeah.
All right,
I
so
don't
we
know this
we
I don't
go
think I've heard either.
we go pick her up, and she has really shitty friends because it's me, Alex, and Matt. She was plastered, like just drunk as fuck.
Sloshed.
And her friends
Absolutely sloshed.
Or just allowed her to just get in my car and just go somewhere. Her friends were just like, yeah, go for it. Like, you have really awful friends, first and foremost.
Yeah, if whatever, I don't even know your fucking name, but if you're listening to this, you have shitty friends, and I hope you found some fucking new
She's
ones.
not listening.
It doesn't matter.
Maybe she's like a super.
Anyway, we start driving, and the speed limit is 35, and I'm doing like 34. And she's like, hey, can you slow down a little bit? I'm starting to feel like meh. I'm like, I'm doing the speed limit, but okay. It is a straight road. Whatever, we'll go. So we're going to this place, and I am at an intersection, and it's a left turn. I'm in the left turn lane. And she had what she said was an entire bottle of strawberry vodka before she got in my car.
Smirnoff.
Yeah, so she starts feeling a little bleh. So we're at this intersection. So I have a Mustang, and that has 2 doors, so Matt and this girl are in the back. They have no access to any doors unless Alex or me open mine. She decides that she needs to throw up. So she makes that throw up sound, and me and Alex hear it.
No, I didn't hear it. I smelt it. It was fucking disgusting.
I heard it, and I just looked forward in my car and was like, this girl's throwing up in the back of my car right now. So Alex opens his door at this intersection. We get a green light. Cars are behind us, kind of honking. Her head is out, throwing up outside my car, and it smells like strawberry vodka in the back of my car
It was so
because she had
fucking
thrown
gross.
up in the seat and the road. So we get there. Matt and this girl start vibing. He calls her an Uber, and she leaves. But we're not done yet. We get home. I'm a little pissy because this girl threw up in my car, and Matt falls asleep. And I'm like, hey, you should clean this up. He's knocked. And he leaves really early the next morning. So I go out to my car, baking in the sun overnight. And, it's pretty warm.
Baking
There's
in
still-
the sun overnight.
Dude, the moon is fucking roasting this thing.
Whatever. It was summer, so it was pretty hot out, I think. Was it summer?
I have no idea.
Anyway.
No, it was fall because football season.
Okay, anyway, vomit baking in your car for any period of time is just not going to be the best thing in the world. Thank God I had leather seats because I had to clean this fucking vomit out of my car by myself. Hey, Matt,
Where did this story come from?
I don't know. I thought about it at work.
That's funny because I told Sarah. Sarah's one of the people in this building. I told her that same story like a couple days ago.
The story upsets me.
How long does your car smell like strawberries?
A minute.
It's like- it was like someone put an air freshener in there and it kind
When
of
I
made
threw
it
up
smell.
raspberry vodka in my room downstairs, it smelled like it for about 2.5 weeks.
That long?
Yeah, no, it was like stained to the fucking trash can.
Oh
for
my
a
god!
while.
I would have got
So
rid of that
nasty.
trash. can.
Every time I think about alcohol in your house, I always think about how Jacob passed out on the beanbag behind the couch in the garage.
In front of the fridge, nonetheless.
Completely asleep,
Just
so we couldn't
not,
get to the
like, we
fridge.
couldn't, there was nothing we could do.
It was bad.
He drank, it was cracking.
Hey, can we put up a
That
picture
seems-
of the man sleeping on to 40?
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
Here's
Yeah.
a picture of Corporal sleeping on to 40.
Duh 40.
All
That was a
right.
2020 Pog moment.
Oh, that was 2020.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Corporal, what's your favorite word?
Favorite word?
Yeah. I'm just curious.
I've never thought about that. Hit me with a hard question right off the bat.
We do things. We go hard here at the Hello Harem Podcast, Corporal.
We're always hard
I
here.
hope your guns are locked and loaded.
You got to
and
be
you're ready.
hard from the time you walk in the door to the time you leave.
Infrastructure. I don't know. That's the first thing that came to my head. I don't have a favorite word. What the hell is that?
The man makes a good point.
I was just thinking about the fucking Hachimo. What's your favorite word? Pog!
Epic poggers.
Poggers!
Is her favorite combination.
Yeah.
of words.
Hachima
Bitch.
is dead.
No, she's. Oh yeah.
She's combined with a
Hachima
Kai
dead.
Hato now. There's no more Hachima.
It's Hato-cha.
Hachima.
Well,
Hachamato.
the end of an era.
one thing I wanted to talk to Corporal about is he is technically our overseas bro, our overseas viewer, because he spent a year in Australia, but not just Australia. He
The
also went
outback.
to Japan with Alex. He went to multiple Asian countries.
It was Thailand, Cambodia, Malaysia, and Philippines.
Yeah, so I want to
It's
get.
like all of Southeast Asia.
You know,
It's a
everywhere.
lot of countries.
I want the scoop.
Yeah,
I
I
want to
have
know
questions.
what prompted you to go.
Yeah.
Why did you choose where to go? Were you just
Alright.
like, I'm gonna go fucking travel? Fuck you.
And
I'm out.
why did like the length of time you stayed? What
And like,
Oh,
what,
okay.
determined
Wait,
that?
so-
what did you
okay.
do to make money? Like, what? I want to hear this
We
whole
just want to
story.
hear the,
Yeah,
the,
yeah.
the
Yeah.
story.
All right.
The scoop.
Like, how old were you when you left? Like, what was the... What was the time
Let me think. I was 22.
So
I
was
think I was 22.
2018 you went? You left?
Yeah, 2018. I left August 31st, I think. Or August, I don't know, end of August. And what prompted me to go? I had like a solid job for a year, so I was saving up money.
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't know what I was going to do with my life at the moment because the job was just like one you can, it didn't matter much to me, not a career thing.
Yeah.
And my sister was in Australia already doing this thing. And she'd gone to school there in the past for, what do they call them things? When you go to school overseas. for-
studying abroad.
Yeah, studying abroad.
Yeah.
She did that. So she kind of just convinced me to go. And I'm like, okay. So I go, and what you need is like a working holiday visa. So what you're supposed to do is, the main point is to work, or no, sorry, the other way around. The main point of the visa is for travel, or like holidays, what they call it, vacationing. And you're supposed to work. And that's really what, I don't know, money looked good. And seemed cool.
So it was like your sister that kind of prompted you to go.
Yeah.
Did you have any interest in Australia prior to going?
Not really. Nothing like nothing that like stood out more than other countries besides the fact that like everybody there speaks English already,
Mhm.
and that just is the easiest transition to starting traveling, I think. So
That makes sense.
I didn't really have it as like a hot spot or a bucket list item or anything.
I mean, it'd be cool. Like, it's all the way across the world. Like, not a lot of people. Everybody wants to go to like Europe.
It is.
England,
It
or
is the
something.
land down under. You know, everybody
Yeah.
knows Australia.
That's another one of those countries that people always say they want to go to, but never do.
It was
You
a
very
prison
rarely-
island.
Very,
Yeah.
Exactly.
like
The land of criminals.
very rarely do you get. Like, Corporal's the only guy I've met that's been to Australia. Very rarely do you find someone who's been that far.
Not just been to
He was
Australia.
there.
Lived, worked,
He lived.
vibed, got drunk.
Came.
All of it.
All of it.
So-
I actually have a question that could probably lead to a story if you have one. Do you have any stories that stick out about the wildlife? Because you always see like the memes and the pictures of the Australian wildlife being fucking insane.
Yeah, for the most part, actually, like all the dangerous shit I didn't really come across. I mean, like I saw crocs, but that was like on a boat tour where you're supposed to. I saw snakes on that same tour. I never saw any of that stuff in like the wild. Probably the closest scary thing I came to was like the wild dogs that are out in the outback.
No, you saw some?
You ran into that?
I didn't see them, like, but that's like the closest danger that was around me besides maybe spiders or
Really,
something.
they call them dingoes?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
The crazy dingoes.
I think, because I think there's dingoes, but I think there's also just some other maybe I'm wrong about that. But I think there might be just like wild dogs as well.
So did you actually did you live out in the outback?
Yeah. I was small town first time for like 3 months called Cloncurry. And there's like a town of 2,700 people.
Whoa.
So there's like
Oh my God.
nothing out there. There's not even a movie theater. There's 3 bars. maybe 4. I can't remember. It like used to be a really like hot spot for like a mining town. And I guess that's still where they get a lot of people, but it's nothing like what it used to be. But like just 2 days ago or something, there was just news that the next Australian survivor is going to be in Cloncurry, and it's going to bring them like millions of dollars. So that's kind of
I
sick.
remember you sent us that link.
Yeah.
Oh, that's kind of hard.
And I was,
Yeah.
I was like,
They were supposed to like film it in Fiji, but because of like the coronavirus and stuff, they're going to some isolated location where there's less risk.
That makes sense.
So Conquery isn't really like a touristy place.
No,
is it?
not at all.
Like
It's in the outback, but there is nothing special about it. Like you'll go out there and it'll be locals and backpackers that work at the bar. And like I myself, they call me backpackers. Like whatever you're just like the work.
Did you get to know any regulars at the bar?
Yeah. That's just like how it is with the small towns. You get to know at least all the drunks or all the partiers. They're not all drunks. But that's a whole different way of life. It was actually really cool. I liked that part so much, but I wouldn't want to live there like for long.
In
3
just
months is a good
Conquery,
limit.
or
There's Cloncurry and then one other town. Why can't I remember the name of it? Miles.
this was over on the East Coast, right?
Yeah, it was away from the East Coast. Like go inland 6 hours or something. 8. I can't remember.
I have no like reference for how far or big Australia is. So 8 hours from here, you could get to. Where could you get 8 hours?
Could you
from
go to
here?
Virginia?
That's
In 8 hours, you'd get like midway through Virginia. No, you could probably get to close to Virginia Beach.
I think.
yeah. I think I drove to Virginia. It was like 6 hours.
Yeah, because I'm kind of like referencing our trip.
You can go to New York and go kind of deep in it.
Yeah, you can go to New
Like in
York.
the state.
Jay, how long was our drive to New York?
Yeah, what, 6 hours?
To New York?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Australia is.
I think it was 6.5.
It's huge.
Yeah,
it's a similar
like
size
the
to the
size of
US.
the U.S.
It's about the
Yeah.
size
Oh
of
my
the
God,
US.
that is-
That's much larger than I
So
thought.
No.
6 hours from the East Coast. Say you're in Brisbane.
Yes, I was in Brisbane.
That would take you to like probably the edge of
Yeah.
Kentucky area, maybe Missouri.
Fuck, that's pretty deep inland.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, probably around
That's
there.
what I hear about Australia. Like, there's stuff on the coast, like east and west. Like, Perth that's on the west side,
Perth is-
right?
Perth is on the west.
Brisbane, Sydney.
It's
There's
literally
nothing
like
in the middle.
it's either 93 or 97% of the population of Australia lives on the coast.
That is
No
crazy.
fucking
It's
way.
crazy high.
So, when you were in this little shanty town, yeah, how long were you there? Like in that town? That's not my question. But
Yeah. I was there for 3 months, like both times.
Okay, so you're there.
Both small towns.
Oh, okay. So
Yeah.
like 3 months per town.
Yeah.
Okay, so what was your living arrangements in both town? Like, how were you staying?
All right. First place, the bar provided me like two meals a day. It was like lunch, dinner, on top of like a solid $600 a week, I think. And then my room, it was horrible, piece of shit. Most depressing thing, like it was those white painted cinder block walls.
Oh,
There's
jeez.
an air conditioner. There was a window, but it led out to the hotel like hallway. I don't know.
So you didn't have a window
I did not
outside?
have a window outside.
Wow.
And that air conditioner, I don't know how old it was, but it broke on the days where it's like getting 110 degrees. and my room was just cooking. Like, I would go in there and just start sweating my ass off. That was a miserable situation.
Did you have was the bed like a nice bed, or was it like an iron rod with springs?
No, it was a decent bed. I wouldn't call it nice, but it was a bed.
Okay.
Mine at home is probably worse.
That's fucked. So that's what it was like in the first place.
Yeah, actually, there were 2 beds in there because I think it's meant to hold 2 people, but I had the whole room to myself. And I say whole room, but it was like size of this room probably.
With 2 beds?
Yeah.
Where was the loo?
The loo is so right outside my room was like a refrigerator, like a couple books that people had left, and then 2 bathrooms that were nasty as fuck. Oh my god, dude! You know those cockroaches you see on Fear Factor, like the huge ass flying ones.
Yeah.
Those would just be like crawling around the place. Yeah, that wasn't lovely, especially the shower. Like nobody ever cleaned it. It was. See, I hadn't thought about this in a while. This is kind of put in a spot in my brain that I've just blocked it out, but I'm thinking about it now, and there's just like black mold kind of growing.
Oh god!
It was a situation where you just get through it day by day, make your money.
What was So I'm asking a lot of questions. You guys feel free.
Dude.
I actually got one.
Okay, yeah, go ahead. I'm sorry.
How do you go about getting like the job? And so you go to this small city in the middle of buttfuck nowhere in Australia.
Oh
and
yeah,
get this job at a bar, and they pay for all your shit. Like, how does that even happen?
that's kind of a common thing for backpackers is like a room and meals provided. It's usually a common thing to see. But when I went out to Cloncurry, I wasn't even planning on working there initially.
Mm-hmm.
I had gone out because that's where my sister was working, so she was going to show me the town. I'm like, all right, yeah, I'll see you for a week. And I decided, like, all right, whatever, I'll just work here. Why not? So I just, like, went into the bar with, let me think. No, I had a resume I printed out at the library. I went into, like, the first bar that I came across, and I asked the dude, like, if he's hiring. He said, no, he just had a position filled. And I'm like, okay, cool. And, like, as I was about to leave, he called me back in, and then we talked, and all of a sudden I had a job. So I don't know what he was talking about. So that was kind of epic. I don't know. I've had really good luck with getting a job where I just kind of go to a place and they hire me.
Wow. I wish it was that easy.
Yeah, I don't know what it is.
Maybe I just need to go to Cloncurry. Just say fuck it.
Cloncurry, correction. Put respect on it.
Oh, no, I mean that was no disrespect.
I know.
Butter it with respect.
It took me a while to get the actual name in my head right.
Cloncurry.
It's weird.
Much love from the Dirty 330, if I do say so myself.
Would you guys like some quick wild Australian dog facts?
Send them.
Yeah.
So the dingo was thought to have been the first dog inhabiting Australia from Asia about 4,000 years ago. All other dogs there are actually breeds of dogs that were brought over from Europe.
So they're fucking mutts.
So dingoes are actually on the endangered species list because of that.
Really?
Because there are not many purebred dingoes anymore.
Huh.
So dingoes are now endangered species. Their diet includes kangaroo, rabbit, wallaby, rodents, birds, brush-tailed possum, and the common wombat.
Not the wombat!
Thank God it's not the uncommon wombat.
Thank God it's not the rare wombat.
The legendary wombat.
Oh my God, dude! Guess what I pulled in my pack today, Luke?
What?
Dude, I pulled an epic wombat.
Dude, that's like a 1.25% chance of pulling.
I pulled a fucking purple wombat. What if there was a wombat-themed gotcha game?
I'd be pissed off.
We'd make millions.
Do I want another gotcha game? Like, I have Ozzer Lane.
Do we want...
Genshin, which Genshin just fucks me every day.
Shut your fuck up. We're going to make the wombat game, and we're going to be the ones making the money.
Shut your fuck up.
Wait, that means we get cute wombat waifus?
Yeah! Now do you see?
Speaking of waifus, Corporal is sandwiched between 2 Onesans, aka Akino and Rios.
Thumbnails.
Wait,
I almost had it.
Yeah, wait, can you do that again? Look straight
So they
on the
met
camera. Hold on. Do that, yeah. And there's the thumbnail.
He's sandwiched between 2 absolute baddies. Akino and Rios.
Which one's
I won't
milkers?
remember their names.
Which one's milkers do you prefer more? This is an anime podcast.
Between the two right here?
Yeah.
I'll just go with red.
Good
Good
choice.
choice.
Good man.
Good choice.
Good boy.
Either way, you were gonna get a good choice.
Yeah.
Okay.
She'll suck the demon out of you, or the dragon.
No, that's Akano.
Oh,
I know, that's what I'm saying.
Oh, they said Rios.
Also, dingoes live in old wombat holes.
So they
They not only kill them and
They
eat them,
take their
they
holes.
dude, dingoes
And-
are dicks.
and large
Dingoes
rabbit
native
warrens.
to America? Because
They-
that sounds a lot like America.
They live in logs, caves, rock ledges, tussock grasses, and debris.
Wow.
Luke,
Dingo.
what is like the size and weight of a dingo? The average dingo.
The average dingo? Alright,
Yeah.
hold on.
Is it like give it like a
Probably
dog
like
breed.
this boy here.
Neil?
Neil, that's his name, yeah.
Is Neil a dingo?
Yeah.
Alright, first off, they have to be able to take down a fucking kangaroo.
Yeah. In packs.
They're medium-sized dogs, 3.5 to 4 feet long from head to tail. The tail adds another 12 to 13 inches. They typically weigh 22 to 33 pounds.
Okay.
So is that like the size of like a beagle?
That's a little smaller than Ollie.
Okay,
I'd
so
say
that's
Ollie
like,
size would be very fitting.
Ollie
for a
weighs
dingo.
about 55, I think.
They're just like not in punting range. Like they gotta
it's a damn shame.
Um,
Alex, how tall are you?
Short
Why-
king size.
Why does it matter?
Well, I'm telling you for reference so I
5'8".
can... 5'8". Alright, it's going to come up to about the middle of your chest. And that's not its legs. That's just its body from tail to head is coming up to about the middle of your chest.
For a second, I thought you were just talking to like the dog standing normally. I'm like, wait.
No, the dog standing up overtakes Alex.
Like on two legs.
It's looking me dead in the face, standing on its hind legs, getting
Dingo's
ready to
just-
beat the shit out of me.
He's posted up.
yeah.
It's like that scene in Kangaroo Jack.
You think Kangaroo Jack's a Young Boy fan?
I go by young boy.
He's got that drip though.
If Corporal sleeps on your floor tonight, he may be cursed by young boy.
We'll leave Kangaroo Jack in the description.
We'll tell you about that
Oh,
later.
no.
But I actually had another question about cock and balls.
Dingoes.
Con curry.
I'm always down to
Conquer,
answer.
Clon
Clon- So the way you're describing this place to me, it sounds desolate.
Yes.
So, okay, I have two questions. One, what were the roads like?
The roads are, from what I remember, they're
Please say dirt.
decent. No, it doesn't get dirt out there like the main roads itself. And for some reason, all the roads in like these small towns are super wide. Like,
Really?
yeah, just crazy wide. I don't know why they're made like that, but they are. That's
Okay.
the very distinctive thing about like small towns out there.
That was my first question.
The roads
Alright.
are built different.
My second question is, you said there's not like a movie theater or anything, and that there was just like some books outside your room. So when you had time off, and you're saying you're taking this day by day, how did you pass the time, and like, how did you keep yourself from being like, my God, this is where I'm at right now?
I played a lot of video games on my laptop. I used my phone's hotspot data to get an internet connection because I didn't have Wi-Fi in my room.
Because it was cinder block.
There wasn't
Yeah.
shit in this
No,
room.
there was nothing for me, and I think I had like a 80 gig limit for. No, it was like I think it was 40 gig limit on my hotspot to start, and I remember I went over it by 200 gigabytes. And you know,
it was close.
this did not happen just once. This was two different occurrences where I went over by that much. And shout out Optus, the phone provider, because I just like talked to them on chat and told them what the deal is, and they just waived it up to my like data that they gave me.
No fucking way.
Yeah.
That's clutch as
Hey.
fuck.
Like 2 different times this happened. So if you're going over there, I gotta recommend Optus, 100%.
Optus Wireless Cellular.
I don't know. I just
Do they
know
have
Optus.
names?
Optus,
So what's
Optus
like there?
Australia.
You want me to Google it?
Yeah.
Do they have Ninja Wi-Fi?
That's Japan only.
I watched the ad, dude. I watched the ad today.
Oh, it came up today.
Yeah.
I haven't seen one in a
I
minute.
haven't seen
I
Ninja
was
Wi-Fi in a while.
mad.
I've kind of been missing them.
Speaking of like
It's
Wi-Fi,
just Optus.
I remember we would be on Discord, like me, Kyle, Nate, or not Nate yet, Josh and Matt, and then Nate would hop in for just a second. His connection would sound so fucking bad.
Oh, God.
He'd be like, what's up, guys? Like, I'm either in like a local library or a Burger King or something using their free Wi-Fi. And then he would get kicked and join back like, yeah, the Wi-Fi here is terrible too. So was the Wi-Fi like all over the place just dog shit?
A lot of places it was pretty rough. Australia is known for just having horrible internet infrastructure there. I got my word out. Just
Call back.
I mean, where the fuck are they gonna put cell towers? The goddamn desert, like
it's insane. Like
you have
there's
3
nothing
cities
out
that
there.
you can put a cell tower in.
One of the like noticeable changes when I got back from like outback to Ohio is just noticing how populated Ohio is. Like you'll just drive and there's always something off the road you can pull over and see. In Australia, you're just driving for miles and miles. Like sometimes it's an hour between towns with like actually nothing in between. So there's no point in getting cell towers out there.
Man, that's so crazy.
That's
It's
kind of scary,
Pennsylvania.
man. Imagine if you're driving that and you run out of gas.
Yeah, you're screwed.
Like that's
The entirety of Australia is the Pennsylvania Turnpike.
fucking feels like it.
You're gonna run into one pissed off like dingo, and he's gonna ruin
He's
your
gonna
day
evict you.
Dude, Nate's
from your car. He's making that his new
That
law.
is all.
Just don't
That's
run
his-
into the
he's gonna
camels,
eat
dude.
you
They
in
got
his
wild
sleep.
camels out
Camels?
there.
What?
Yeah.
There are camels in Australia?
There are herds of camels that are wild out there. I think they were brought in probably to do work, and now they're just invasive.
Australian feral camel.
There it is.
Whoa, I did not know
I
that.
didn't know that.
Camels.
Wait, so did you see any?
I didn't myself. I know my sister did. She went out to like outback where you're on dirt roads, like taking the ute, and
Wait. Explain the ute.
The ute. It
Explain the
is one of the most common vehicles you'll see, especially outside of any Australian city. It's like a pickup truck, but not with a pickup bed. It's got like the covered bed or sometimes toolboxes on the side. It's always something. It just looks like a full SUV, but pickup truck look like. So that's the ute.
Picture of the ute will be right here.
Let's get our hands
Do
on
you
the
think
ute.
do you know the gas mileage on this thing?
I have no idea.
Because it sounds like it doesn't get any.
Wait, of a camel?
No, not a
Oh.
camel.
Oh no! It's not bad.
I'm sorry, I'm
Like,
reading about
it's got to be
camels.
decent because like all of the just normal companies out there
all
use
the
them as
petrol
trucks.
Oh, really?
stations.
Yeah, they do call them petrol stations. Petrols, chips instead of fries. They get a lot of British slang.
So, you leave
Bitch.
cock and balls. I can't remember the
Luke
city.
looking at?
Wait, what do you read
I
about the
think he's
camel?
reading about
He
the
does.
I'm
camels.
still reading about camels. First off, camels were suggested to be brought into Australia in 1839. The first camel arrived in Australia in 1840. On the ship that they had camels on, it doesn't say how many camels they had. All but one died on the voyage from the Canary Islands to
man.
fucking Australia.
What?
So, what did they have that one camel come over? We go, well,
The
fuck,
sur-
we got one.
And then the very next sentence, the surviving camel was named Harry.
What were you asking me?
So, you're what's after the city that you're in now? Next city you moved to? Where are you going after these?
I actually went overseas to Asia at this point. So
Okay.
I'd saved up a decent amount of money. Just like the 3 months, I made a lot. Because you get paid pretty well and there's nothing to spend it on out there.
Before we get into the Asia portion, when was the carnie stuff? Was this before?
This was after Japan. Yeah, I think it was after Japan.
Was it?
Okay, we'll get there.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we'll get
it
there.
was.
I want
This is
to
the
follow
core.
the roadmap
Yeah,
of this trip.
we're gonna take the
Okay, so Corporal hops on a boat.
Yes.
Here, sail it across
He
the
hops
sea.
on the
The
USS
boat.
Horny.
This is the boat of the skies. And it
Oh,
takes
yeah.
a long way. It stops in Hawaii. I spend a day in Airbnb, and I keep going, and I'm at Australia. Or maybe a stop at New Zealand first. I can't
Okay,
remember.
I was saying take this to your next stop in Asia.
My next stop. All right.
Can I please get this
Go on.
out?
Go on.
about Harry the camel real
Yes.
fast. So Harry the camel, the first camel in Australia, was
Oh, he was number one.
yeah. He was used for inland exploration by pastoralist and explorer John Ainsworth Herrick on his ill-fated 1846 expedition into the arid South Australian interior near Lake Torrens. ill-fated does not bode well, so I had to keep reading. He became known as the man who was shot by his own camel.
Harry had it out for him.
So, alright. I don't want to finish Harry because he died, but, So, he was the man who was shot by his own camel. On the 1st of September, Herrick was preparing to shoot a bird on the shores of Lake Dutton. While his kneeling camel moved while Herrick was reloading his gun, causing the gun to fire and injuring the middle fingers of his right hand and the row of teeth. He died of his wounds on the 23rd.
This homie got headshotted by a camel.
In Penwortham, after requesting that the camel be shot.
Like, yo, if I'm going, that fucker's going with me.
This motherfucker moved.
Did they shoot the camel?
It doesn't say. That's just the end of the story.
This is like one of the best stories I've heard for like something so obscure. Like it makes
A man who was shot by his own camel.
the very first camel
The
to touch
terrible
Australian
story
soil.
of the first Australian camel.
I had no fucking idea Australia had camels.
That blew my mind.
Feral
that's
camels.
Feral camels.
Yeah, I like how they call them feral.
Feral camels.
All right, well, let's set sail.
There's
with
a whole
that.
section called "Camels Go Feral."
That's for later tonight.
We're good. I just scrolled down and
All
saw
right.
camels
So,
go feral.
Have you
I'm
guys
gone.
heard of the Australian emu war?
Yeah. Australians lost.
Okay, so
Sad.
Corporal hops in the skyboat, and he flies, and it simultaneously sails to Asia. So and then
So I landed
where
in.
did you end up?
That was Malaysia. One night in Malaysia.
Only one?
Yeah, I got to the airport.
Sounds
I don't
like a
know.
shitty
May have been-
romance movie.
Lost in translation.
So December 31st, I get to Malaysia. Spend one night there.
Did you
I
celebrate
stopped
New
at
Year's
McDonald's
in,
and got some brownie that was stale as hell.
Happy New Year's
Yeah.
from McDonald's in Malaysia.
When-
No, that wasn't the New Year's. The New Year's I had a good time. So I left Malaysia, went to Thailand. That's where I met up with my sister. She'd gotten there like a couple days earlier. And
It's just you following your sister around the world.
well, we had planned this, but we got different flight. I forget why. I think she was meeting some people she knew there
Okay.
before me. But anyway, I spent New Year's on like a beach in Thailand, which was the craziest celebration I've ever been to. Like, you know them lanterns they send up in the sky?
Yeah.
Yeah.
There was just like thousands and thousands and thousands of those just going up, just like lighting up the sky, just floating away.
That's sweet.
Poggers.
That is awesome.
And fireworks, they were, I don't know who made these fireworks. People were setting them off just all over the beach, like anybody had them, and they were just blowing up like over your head. And like I looked over and I right at one point, some were blowing up on the beach, and this beach was packed as fuck. Like there were people like shoulder to shoulder,
Getting
like
peppered.
in many areas. Yeah, I don't know how nobody like died there, but it was a pretty good celebration. I want to do that again. Thailand's cheap, so I plan on it at some point.
Yeah, you sent a picture of like some place you were staying in Thailand. It was like fucking cheap as shit at night, and you were right on the beach in like a hammock, just vibing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember that picture very distinctly.
So I traveled for I think 2 weeks with my sister, just going around different parts, and then she left, and I was on my own in Thailand for like another 2 weeks, and that's where I was just like getting these crazy places that were cheap as hell. Like I don't know, less than 30 a night maybe for like prime
Oh my
locations.
god.
What do you do to occupy yourself? Like you're all alone in some foreign country. What do you do for 2 weeks?
A lot of times, like, I went to hostels, which is where just people like me traveling all go. So you just hang out with people, or I don't know, find something to do with them. Either that, or I don't know. Some of the days were kind of lonely, where you just have nothing to do. You just sit around. But for the most part, I don't like. Thailand was fun. Cambodia was fun.
Did you enjoy your holiday in Cambodia?
Did I?
Dude, fuck you.
So you went from Thailand to Cambodia?
Dude, good.
Thailand, Cambodia, then
Good
back
one.
to Thailand.
All right.
And-
Was it
Good one, you did
2 weeks with your sister in Thailand, and then another 2 weeks in Thailand.
It was 2 weeks in Cambodia after that with her still.
Gotcha.
And then it was 2 weeks more in Thailand, but that was like on my own.
And after Thailand, is that when you went to Japan?
No, I was in the Philippines
I
for a
forgot.
month on my own there.
I forgot about the Philippines.
What were the Philippines like?
Philippines, probably the nicest people like in the world live there. Except like it is probably the poorest country I'd seen, either that or Cambodia. I'm not really sure. Beautiful though. One thing about like all these Southeast Asian countries though, like you'll see the most litter and trash like you've ever seen in your life. It is just no matter where you go, the landscape. You'll look off to the left, even if you're like in a rainforest. There's just gonna be trash.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it sucks. They really don't take care of it like they should. There's some really cool places out there though.
Was
You guys
Angkor
need
Wat,
to go.
was that in Cambodia?
Yeah, Angkor Wat's Cambodia.
That is on my bucket list. That is a place I really
What's that?
like.
What is
Angkor Wat is,
Angkor Wat?
Nate, you've been there. You explain it.
Shit, I wish I knew a lot more about it. Is it a wonder of the world or no?
I don't know if it's a wonder. It is
No, is it the place with
It might not be. I can't remember 7.
It has these crazy like statues and towers. It just looks
and like temples and
Yeah,
stuff.
it is-
They're
it is
the most
Like they're all, like,
intricately
stone,
designed.
right?
Yeah, they're
They
all
go really
stone,
high.
and they just like pop up out of nowhere. Like you'll be driving in like the rainforest for a while, and all of a sudden you'll like come up to these places, and it's just ridiculous. Like these things, I think they're from like 1200 BC or AD. I can't remember. They're old as hell.
This is in Cambodia?
Yeah.
And aren't there like trees growing over top of some of them? And
Yeah.
just absolutely.
Okay,
A lot of them are
crazy
really well
looking place.
maintained too, though.
You went there?
Yeah.
Holy
He
shit.
showed us. He has his like pass for Angkor Wat in his wallet.
Oh, is that what the pass? I didn't
Yeah,
see the
that's
pass.
what
I
it
didn't get to
Angkor
read
Wat
it.
pass.
Holy shit, that is
Crazy.
wild.
Cambodia has a pretty dark history too, where there's like the red something. I can't remember. There's some horrible organization that like just killed tons of their own people. And
Like a
there was
genocide?
there was like a huge just genocide that happened there. And there's one place I went to that was like the grounds where a lot of that shit took place.
Oh shit.
And there's still like when it rains, there's like bones that come up through the soil from people that were all thrown into these pits.
Really?
It's
Yeah.
fucking crazy,
That's
man.
insane.
Holy crap.
So that was pretty interesting. Horribly sad. They had like prisons for torturing people that I went and saw too. It was kind of ridiculous. Didn't know any of that stuff when I went there. But
I had no fucking idea.
I just learned
I don't know like next to nothing about like
Southeast
Southeast
Asia.
Asian, like small Southeast Asian countries
Yeah.
like that.
dude, in Thailand, have you guys seen a picture of their, what do they call him? I don't think it's their president. Their king. I think it's a king.
No.
Mm-mm.
You got to pull it up real quick. The king of Thailand.
King of
I need,
Thailand.
yeah, you'll see some crazy picture of this dude. He does not care, like, at all about anything.
He's got a name, sure. I'm not. Why does it always look like he's taking a shit?
There's some picture of him. I think he's getting into a car or something, and like what he's wearing, it's like a wife beater with. It's like
This dude's a king.
underwear.
There it is. Back, he is inked the fuck up.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
You're not allowed to take pictures of the royal family, like at all. And yeah, that's what I was thinking of.
This guy is a fucking G.
He's the king of a country.
I was in one of the cities, and all of a sudden, all these cops pull through. Everybody is clearing the streets, getting on the sidewalks, like they're rushing everybody to the sides. All these officials come through. They're posted up on all the corners. There's like official cars standing everywhere. I'm like, what the fuck is going on? So I'm standing behind like the sidewalk railing, and I find out like that someone from the royal family related to him was like coming through like down the street I was walking on at the time,
Don't want to tempt his name.
and I wouldn't either.
You know,
And I have my phone out, and I'm like recording this because like what the hell is going on?
Mm-hmm.
And apparently, since you're not like supposed to record them, and like these cops saw me recording, They came up to me after these guys passed, took my phone, like made me delete my shit. I had to get my passport out. They took pictures. I had to get my ID out. They took pictures of me. Like I was like, oh my god, am I going to jail? What did I just do?
Dude, that would be the scariest police encounter ever.
That's the only reason I'm afraid to go like Southeast Asian countries. I don't know what the fuck the rules are there. I'm not going to jail for something stupid.
Their policing is, their prisons are
Maha Vajiralongkorn. That's the best I'll be.
Since 2016. He's still fresh.
He's a king.
Hasn't given a fuck.
I have been on a rabbit hole of Googling things, by the way. So, in order from highest worth of currency down to lowest is Thailand, the Philippines, and Cambodia. Thailand, it's 3 cents for 1 Thai baht. In the Philippines, it's 2 cents for 1 Philippine peso. And in Cambodia, it's $0.00025 for 1 Cambodian real.
How much is 100 Cambodian reals then? Because I got one of them in my wallet.
Do you really?
Cambodian reals? You got 2.5 cents of
I had a few that I just like gave out to random people because I knew it was worth like nothing.
Mm-hmm.
So like, I think some drunk dude came into a bar once and he was like looking at money that someone else had put up on the bar just as like keepsakes up, and he's like looking at all this shit. And he's like admiring it. I'm like, here, dude, have this. And I gave him like, I think it's worth 2 cents. And I'm like, he's probably like blown away. It just says 100. He's probably freaking out.
Holy shit! Why would you give me so much? It's like, dude,
This one's on me, bud.
you can't buy shit.
Take that.
You know what? You go try and cash that in.
And then I'm pretty sure
You can't even get shit because Australia doesn't go by like 1 cent. They don't have that. They go straight to like 5. They do rounding there. It's kind of weird.
That's kind of awesome, though.
I like it.
That's sweet.
That's
And
poggers.
then on top of all that, I tried to look up the Cambodian red whatever. So I just Googled Cambodia red, and Red Cat came up. I was like, I don't know if that's it, but I'm gonna try it. Sex holiday in Cambodia is what I got
Cambodia
to
Red
come
Cat.
up, which apparently is very common because Cambodia is so fucking dirt cheap and dirty. You can just go there, pay to have sex.
Cambodia Red.
Oh, they're called the Khmer Rouge. That's
Khmer
what they're
Rouge?
called. Yeah, something like that. I had to find out.
Okay.
I don't
Yeah,
know
in
why
this
I called
article,
it.
not only do they say Cambodia is just shittier Thailand, basically, they're like, you need to plan how much money you're going to spend, including how much it costs to get a hand job in a massage salon.
What the hell's article did you find?
Yeah.
I have no... It's the official website for the Cambodian Red Cat.
I was
For
approached
the
by a couple
Cambodia
prostitutes
Red
who wanted me to pay them for stuff. Only when I walked on my own in the streets, though. When I was with my sister, they didn't.
Probably thought you were just some dumb foreigner, easy target.
Yeah.
Me and Corporal are approached pretty often in Japan.
We'll get. Actually, well, are we ready to set sail for your next destination? We are leaving.
Cambodia.
Well, we
No,
left
Thailand.
We went Thailand, Cambodia, back to Thailand.
Yeah.
Where's Thailand?
So Philippines is next.
Philippines.
Yeah, so
Okay.
the ship to the Philippines we go.
You can rent a motorbike for $5 a day in Cambodia.
I did. It was sick, yeah.
Oh, that's dope.
I just exchanged my passport and I had to pay for gas. That was like it. And they
Oh, I have to
didn't
pay
care.
all 6 cents for gas.
Yeah, it was it's cheap as hell. So Cambodia is sick just because of that, how cheap it is. It's so easy to stay there with little money. But yeah, to
So
the
we're
Philippines.
in the Philippines, you know?
Philippines.
Yeah, I landed in their capital city, Manila. I hope I didn't get that wrong.
I think that's correct.
Okay.
I think it's correct.
Still Googling shit.
I think it was like a month or some time after I left the country. They had a horrible earthquake in Manila that like ruined their airport. Like you couldn't leave for a while.
Oh, really?
Oh, you
Yeah.
got out there just in time then.
Yeah, it was
It
not
is
good.
indeed Manila.
You're on a Googling spree right now.
This is my job.
That's
I'm surprised no one goes Luke when they tell when like you
We
say
do
something.
You're trained.
It's most of the time. Most of the time
Trained.
it's just Luke. So I've gotten to the point that I just Google things
Okay.
now.
Corporal, tell us about the Philippines.
Philippines, it's like a Spanish-English mix. Like huge influences in Spanish culture there. They have pretty cool ruins there from World War II stuff and even before that I went to see. I went to like not really touristy areas. A lot of touristy areas are just beaches that you fly to. I went to weird towns. Like, I just pick spots on the map, hop on, like, buses, and head out there. And I never really knew, like, what exactly my plan was. I'd just be traveling around, get a place for a couple of days.
Man.
And
Yeah. For all you know, you could be going into, like, the hellhole.
yeah, I could have been. I went to, like, one touristy beach place where I took, like, a ferry across to an island. Like, there's, like, 7,000 islands parts of the Philippines or something crazy.
Shit.
I don't know, Philippines got pretty lonely traveling on your own. It's always better having someone else.
So your sister didn't come to the Philippines with you?
Nah, at this point she was back in Australia for, I don't know, a month. But, so I was on my own at this point. And Philippines is all kind of blurred together. I didn't do anything like too crazy. It was just traveling around, seeing different small towns, cities, whatever, where I ended up meeting people.
How long were you in the Philippines?
It was a full month I stayed there.
Gee, that's pretty long.
And
Yeah.
you got there in, what, probably February?
Honestly, I don't remember. Yeah, I mean, if we went to
I
Japan,
think you
in
flew out
March.
from the Philippines.
Yeah, I
You guys
did.
left in-
Yeah.
You went to,
We
you went in
left March 18th.
Yeah, so February definitely got there. One of the scariest things that happened to me there, I went to a gaming lounge. It was the first one I'd ever been to, just like I wanted to do something one day. So I'm there probably till it was dark as fuck out.
Mhm.
I don't know. And I didn't have a car. I'd walked there when it was daylight, and I decided I'll walk back. Why not? And I didn't go the same route I came. I went on this back road where at first it was fine. I was walking up, like, there was sidewalks, city lights, cars going everywhere. And then the place that got me to my hostel, it was like almost like a single lane road that you'd find in the country, except it's rainforest, like both sides of me.
Oh, that's fucking scary.
So it is like complete black darkness. And I think I had to walk, it's either 3 kilometers or miles. I can't remember. I don't remember what system I was using
That's
at that
a
point.
long hike.
It was a long walk, but along the way, I'd just be hearing like rustling in the bushes to my right and left, like all the time. And then all of a sudden dogs would just come out, like start charging me, start barking at me.
Really?
Like they just come flying. And I just like have to turn, make myself big, scream at them. Like my heart was, like it was an adrenaline rush walk, dude.
So scary.
There are so many wild dogs, like just everywhere.
Oh
So-
my god, Corporal, that's fucking insane.
Imagine just being like a local walking down the street and you see some foreign man screaming at dogs. Just screaming at dogs, and they're like, what the fuck?
Yeah, and the guy that's like from there just goes like, and the dog just comes running to him. And you're like, oh.
Yeah. No, it was
Now
scary
you're
as
about to
hell. I just have like dogs walking along me for brief moments, and then they turn back, disappear into the rainforest. And there'd be like, oh, almost got leg cramp. That was bad.
Charlie
horse.
Dings.
There'd be like houses I'd come up that like they'd have lights on to the side, and I'd be like, all right, I don't have to be like as scared at this point. But then a dog would come running out from the house.
All right, the fear's gone. The fear's back. The fear's back. Anytime Corporal hears a dog bark, it's just back to PTSD.
Yeah.
Just starts screaming.
If you ever like are in like one of these countries, do not try to pet the wild dogs. Like the ones on the streets, do not put your hands down near them. Do not like look at them wrong.
Did you do that?
I did it once.
How did that end for you?
It was the scariest face on the dog I'd ever seen. You know, this thing's teeth came out and it just like started snapping at me like instantly. It was barking its ass off. And I'm like in the middle of the city and people are like looking over, like they're probably like, what a fucking idiot. You're trying to pet this thing. I'm just like,
Who's this fucking moron trying to pet the wild dog?
Corporal
Yeah.
loses a finger.
They're like, God fucking come on.
So,
Wow,
yeah.
that's actually
That's
wow.
bonkers.
That's the most poggers part of.
Yeah,
This I heard.
being circled by like 3 wild dogs at once is not a good situation to be in.
Jeez, yeah, dude. I would have picked up like a big stick.
I didn't find anything. I was just using my phone's No, I think I had an actual flashlight with me that I had, and I was just trying to shine it in their eyes and like keep them away. Like, I didn't know what else to do besides yell at them. I had to swing my feet a couple times and shine them with a blinding light.
Did you ever make contact?
No, didn't have to.
Hey, go the fuck away.
Get the fuck off my porch! And then they fucking get a woman. Okay, so following Corporal's adventure in Dogland, you ended up in Japan, if I'm correct.
Yeah, Japan. That was such a great change. Not only for scenery, just how clean everything was, how just more normal city it felt to me.
Yeah, that would have been pretty fucking crazy.
But
going from like
going from the
like,
Amazon rainforest of wild dogs to downtown Akron.
yeah, to like a clean, modernized city.
Yeah, and I think like one of the best things also was just like meeting up with you, just finally traveling with
Just
someone.
seeing someone.
Yeah, that I can just like finally talk to and like spend like actually experience things with.
Mhm.
That I
So-
can share. Like that was sick.
Was Japan not on the agenda? How did you end up going to Japan? Did Alex ask you and say, "Hey, do you want to fuck around and come to Japan with me"?
Yeah, I was drunk one night in Brisbane.
All great story to start.
Yep. I think, I mean, that's how I decided to go to Australia initially. I think I was drunk in my room when my sister asked me, and like, sure, why not? And like, I think it was my goal in like 2018 to just like stop letting people down and like false, not promises really, but like I'd agree to do, commitments. Mm-hmm. And I guess that's like the year I started. I wanted to start like following through with what I agreed to.
So I get
drunk,
right?
agree
Yeah,
to go
dude.
to Australia, gotta go.
Truly,
You really
Same thing
thought
happened
you
with Japan.
Yeah,
You one upped it.
truly, that 1 year of your life is so interesting.
Yeah.
That beats most people's entire
Because
life.
everything about that sounds like a movie. Nothing about this could not be made into like a movie telling you how to live your life. Like
One night in Malaysia.
That's the title of the fucking movie.
One Night in Malaysia. That's the name.
One night in Malaysia. It literally takes place for 10 minutes in Malaysia, and then it's everywhere else that's
Yeah.
not fucking Malaysia.
Like I could have very well just spent my night in the airport there, like as most people probably would, but I just kind of wanted to go into the city.
Yeah.
So one night in Malaysia. That's all.
All right, so you're drunk in Brisbane. You and Alex are talking.
I think this was actually like the first 2 weeks I was in Australia when he asked,
the sequel
Oh,
to
so it's
One
early.
Night in Malaysia,
Yeah.
Drunk in Brisbane.
because I.
Tom Hanks.
Tom Hanks as Corporal.
That's how I agreed. I had to commit because I had already agreed to. So at some point I was going to fit in going, and I was just going to work my time around that trip going to Japan. So that's how I decided to go there.
That's fucking crazy. That is bananas.
That is bananas.
So you land in Tokyo. You meet up with Tippy, and
you guys have a nice
I mean Alex has told us about it a lot,
Yeah.
but I haven't heard another perspective. And
Ah.
this is what I'm interested in hearing.
Yeah, did we land at different airports or just different times?
We landed at different times.
Okay.
You got to.
It was Narita.
Yeah, we landed in Narita in Chiba. You got there hours before I did.
It was before you.
Yeah, because I remember when I landed, once I got in Akihabara and in the hostel, I shot you a text. I didn't hear from you for like 30 minutes. I'm like, he's probably sleeping.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, so I got off the plane in Tokyo and had to find my way down to the trains. And they have different types of trains there. Some are really nice that you have to pay a good ticket, like, I don't know, get the pass for it. And I didn't know what my ticket really told me to get on. And
I did the same thing.
It is hard to find people like to help you, not like help you, because everybody will be trying to help you, but like who can speak English
Mhm.
and communicate with them. Japan is not good for that. So like even like the dude who was working like at the rails, I don't know what you call him.
Let's
Security guy.
call him the conductor, I guess.
Call him the conductor.
That's
Yeah.
Francis.
Yeah, he was having trouble communicating to me. So eventually, like, he stops me from getting on like the right train, I guess, because apparently he knew the ticket wasn't to go on there. Then I just get on the next one, and I fall asleep probably for like an hour on that train. Not really on purpose. I was just wiped,
Mhm.
and I woke up probably like a couple stations before my stop, and just like by luck I got off, I feel like. And I didn't have like data on my phone that for Japan, really. I was still using my Australian number, so like it was $1 per megabyte, so I had to save my Google Map shit like as much as I could, because I was getting charged bad. But I eventually get out of the subway system after I realize maps don't work down there, and I find walk back to the hostel is not too bad. I think I'm out until like nighttime when Alex is already there. That was my initial arrival in Japan.
That's a hectic arrival. A stressful arrival, I would say.
Yeah.
You know, and it's the most appropriate for Corporal, I think.
Yeah, certainly.
Dude, I swear, like, my traveling, I feel like, has just been a lot of luck. Like, if I'm getting on
sounds like it, bud.
buses or these weird ass tuk-tuks. What are they? There's so many different like small vehicle things that they call in each country. Like, there's tuk-tuks, I think, are
Those are like the
Thailand ones. Yeah, the 3-wheel ones.
Tuk-tuks are sweet.
I think they might be called something else in Cambodia, or they just look different. I don't know. Each country has its own thing. Like Philippines had its own. But yeah, I feel like I've gotten kind of lucky just by people helping me get to the right place with me not doing shit.
It sounds like there's a lot of luck involved. I mean, sleeping on the train, not getting mauled by wild dogs, getting a job, like
One night in
Oh, wait till you hear I got my job, like, after the fair. I'll get to that, I guess.
I do have
so
one
great.
quick story when Corporal was talking about trouble finding like your seat, because English is very difficult for a lot of people over there. When we were in Kawaguchiko for Fuji, we were leaving at the station, and one of the we were switching. We were switching from Kawaguchiko station. We were at Otsuki station, going back to Tokyo, and one of the train conductor guys had this device where if you talked into it, it translated it for you.
Oh, that's so fucking cool.
Yeah, he had like an auto translator. It was like dark. I remember this old guy's up to me in Corporal, and we're just telling him that we can help, and he's talking into this device and it's speaking to us.
That was like the coolest thing I've seen.
I totally forgot about that.
That was awesome.
Man, thanks, OG-san.
I want to hear.
like translates like you're a fucking idiot.
Suck my ball.
read the train, dipshit.
Have a ballin' day.
Oh, that's old.
You know, you guys got like pretty drunk like all the time in Japan, didn't you? There's one story. There's a video.
Not really drunk.
I don't
think
so. We
drank
often.
every day. But we didn't get super drunk.
I know the one. It's in the vlog you did. You guys were walking alongside the river in what is that Kyoto?
Oh my
We were
God.
along
You guys were
Tomo
just
River.
fucking plastered
Yeah,
walking along this river.
that was fun.
Yeah.
So.
I need to go back and watch that.
Yeah.
I think there was a story we were talking about that happened that was really funny to us.
When we were drunk?
Yeah, we were walking along the Kamo, and I'm just filming us, and we're laughing our fucking asses off for what God knows what reason. I forget what it was.
Doesn't matter. You get happy juice and you laugh at anything.
Yeah, exactly.
Now you left. I remember in the video you left a day before Alex.
Yeah, one day. Yeah.
So you leave Japan, and where do you go from there? Where are we going?
From Japan, I go back to Brisbane. That is the place I'm always going to, I think, when I'm going to fly there. I love Brisbane. It's like my favorite city in the world. So back to Brisbane I go. And here, I'm pretty broke at this point. Like, I think I've been traveling for like 3 months. I forget. I left, what was it, March? End of March we left Japan, right?
March 29th?
Yeah. So I had just been
almost
spending for what I saved, like, for all that time, making no money. And I think I'm just staying in hostels in Brisbane with, like, the rest of it. And I'm running out of money quick, and I need a job. That's like, the point I get to there.
And welcome back. We just had to take a quick little break there. We're returning to the Chronicles of Corporal. Corporal, when you left off, we had just begun to discuss Brisbane. So
Yes.
please continue.
So I got to Brisbane, and I was getting low on money. Lights just cut.
Way to go, bud.
Cut the lights. Cut the lights.
There they are.
Did that cut the cameras?
No.
Let's go.
Wow.
Loggers.
All right, keep going then, Corporal.
Yeah. So I was running low on money at this
What's the
point, but
Sorry.
yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
No, I just lost my train of thought.
I'm sorry. You were low on money.
Yeah, I was low on money, but not broke yet. So I was getting to hostels, and hostels in Australia, it's cheaper than hotels by a lot, but it's gonna add up. And I didn't really want to work yet, so I was just kind of going through my money, staying at one hostel for quite a while, just getting like week at a time. And I spent a lot of my time going to like a gaming lounge, like just playing games with people from back home. And I spent quite a bit of money there. And I think one of the nights I went out with some dudes, got super drunk at some club, and I got kicked out because apparently I was too drunk. I was put into the streets of Brisbane. I didn't know where I was because we took an Uber there. Normally I walked everywhere, and I had no idea where I was. I tried to explain to the dude who was kicking me out to like give me directions to somewhere. He was just a dick. Like he wasn't helping me at all. He was just like pointing me to the door, just shaking his head. And I get outside. As I'm opening like Google Maps, my phone dies.
Oh,
Like,
shit.
It was rough. So I'm in the middle of like somewhere in Brisbane, which is a huge city, not knowing where the hell I have to go. And we took an Uber, so it was a long way away from where I was.
Mm-hmm.
And I ended up just like walking one direction. I just picked a way to go, started walking, hoping I was right. And I came upon a group of people. I don't know. I don't remember much at this point because I must have been pretty drunk. But I told them to point me to a certain direction of a place like that most people will know, the Queen Street Mall. And they didn't really know what I was talking about, but they got their phone out, pointed me direction, and like they showed me on the maps where I had to go, but I could not focus at this point. So they just pointed down the street where I was going. Luckily it was already the right direction, so I just walked and walked and walked, and I'm feeling kind of sick. And then I realized I know where I'm at. I'm going towards like the place where I've been gaming all the time. So I hop in there. It's open like 24/7. Charge my phone and make my way back. That was just a quick Brisbane story. So
Just to point out, there's that luck playing in again.
Yeah.
You just randomly
You
chose
lucky
the right direction.
motherfucker.
yeah,
Phone dies. Doesn't know where the fuck he's at. No one will help him. He just somehow ends up in the right area.
Third movie of the fucking
3
series.
days in Malaysia.
Somewhere in Brisbane.
all this time
3 days in Malaysia.
I'm probably like more than a month in Brisbane at this point since I got back from Japan, and I've been applying to places, but probably not as much as I should. Not getting a bunch of calls, or not getting like any responses almost at all. But I do get one, and I pick up, and it's these people who work like the traveling fairs. So they go around different showgrounds in Australia, either like it extends from like the far east coast, like near where people are, all the way to the outback. And at the time they're going out west towards the outback, and that's where I take a bus. I think it was like 4 hours, and before I get there I had to plan, because they told me to get like a pillow, blanket, sheets and shit, because I don't know where I'm staying. They just said there's a place to sleep that's provided. I don't know what this means at the time. I just like I just agree. So the hostel I'm staying at, I'm like, you've probably never had this asked before, but can I buy a pillow and sheets, please? Like, what? And they get their manager. They give it to me super cheap, and I actually still use that pillow to this day because they're actually nice as hell. Yeah,
Dude, poggers.
So I take that with me. I get on a bus, 4 or 6 hours. I go out, and I get there. Might be like 11 at night or something, and I have to walk well over a mile to get to the fairgrounds. And I realize it's getting kind of cold, and I'm like, shit, I don't really have warm clothes because I plan to go to Australia. You don't bring like warm shit there. Mm-hmm. But it gets cold there winters at night. And I get there, I show up to the fairground, it's dead. Like, everybody is packing the shit up. Like, almost all the rides are gone. There's still people tearing stuff down. And most people are sleeping. I don't know who I'm looking for. I don't know which van, which section, like which rides even though I'm supposed to go to. So I'm like calling this number that the person hired me. They don't pick up the first time. Like, oh my God, I'm screwed. Where am I going? And then like the security approaches me because there's just some random backpacker walking around the fairgrounds at night. And I'm like, yeah, I'm looking for this guy. And I say their name and they seem to know who I'm talking about. So I'm like, finally something is going my way here. And eventually I get another call from some dude. Super sketchy looking dude. I later find out he's got like warrants out for his arrest and shit. Like he was cool as hell. He was one of the coolest dudes at the fair that I had met. But you meet some interesting people out there, especially working fairs.
I would assume.
Yeah. So I got to, he shows me where I'm sleeping. And picture like a U-Haul trailer that, like not like a whole truck that you can rent because those are much bigger than what I got. This thing is like half the size of the ones you get. And it's got two doors, one on the front of it and one towards the back. And I go inside, I take a look around. I don't see anything. Like, there's just tons of shit stacked up in there, like packed full to the top. I don't know what they're talking about. So I empty this thing out. The dude helps me. And there's a nasty old moldy foam mattress. Things are a little damp in there. This place definitely has not been used. And just at like the headboard of the bed, there's like a plywood wall that's separating this thing because there are actually two people who are sleeping in the front half of this thing. And there's like no room in this thing at all because it's already cut in half by that much, but it's also split down half the other way because one of like the long side on the right is used for one of the game shows that they set up during the fair where like all the prizes are stored. So it's like huge display thing on my right. I can't see it because it's just a wall next to my bunk bed. Mm-hmm. And
It was a bunk?
It was a bunk, but the top was all storage. Like
okay.
Yeah. So I've got a sheet and a pillow, and unfortunately I dropped my sheet on the floor, and the floor is covered in water and sand from all the shit that they'd packed in there. Yes, it was a dire situation. So I'm already pretty miserable. Like, what am I doing with my life right now? That's what I'm thinking. But I needed to do it because I was going broke, and it was top 3 coldest nights of my life because like the blanket was wet and it got I think below 40 that night or maybe at 40 or something.
Dude, holy shit!
It was cold as hell. I think I woke up at 7 and I didn't want to move. Horrible morning, and we ended up like packing up the rides that morning and ended up packing all the shit back into the truck that I'd thrown out the night before, or into the trailer, and we headed off to the new town. So that's where I was sleeping, and
for the foreseeable future, I imagine.
What did I tell the dude? I think I said I wanted to work it's either a month or 3. I can't remember what I told him initially. I think it was 3 I told him on the phone, but once I got there and realized where I was sleeping, my mind had already been made. It's not going to last long. There were 2 other backpackers who I initially met that were also doing the same job from Canada, and they had left the next morning. They had their own van that they were sleeping out of, which was probably like heaven compared to where I was.
Yeah.
So at this point, it's me and Australian carnies that are working this place.
You and Australian convicts that are running rides.
Yeah. So the people in the front of this trailer, people in the front of the trailer were probably the most inconsiderate people I may have ever met in my life. It was a couple. To give an idea, you would call them bogans, which is It's like redneck trailer trash of Australia. I think that's what you'd go with. And they had a drug operation going on.
No.
The dude was making phone calls all the time, trying to get this dude to drop him shit so he could sell people other carnies drugs, because that's, I guess, what they did. So they were inconsiderate in how they had a TV in their thing that was just playing loud all the time. These two, there were a couple. They weren't married. They were on the phone all the time, or they were fighting with each other all the time. And I'm right there, separated by like a sheet of plywood that has a hole in it that I could look through. It was a miserable situation. And I did have like a power hookup, but my adapter was bad, and I ended up blowing the power out a couple times. And I never told them it was me, but it was definitely my fault.
What do you do there? Like, other than work the carnival, so you have like 24 hours in a day. How long is your shift? Like, what?
Yeah, so
on?
it would differ. For days where you were traveling, a lot of the times you would set up, like you drive to the fairground, and sometimes, like if the drive was long, then you just call it a day.
Mm-hmm.
It would, nicest day ever, the day off. Because then you end up going to a bar, get actual food like pizza or something.
Yeah.
You get to drink. The days working, you'd be setting up, lifting heavy shit like all day long. And then after setting all the rides up, I set, they call them dodgems, which is just bumper cars.
Okay.
And after setting that up, you would have to work the fair because they usually open.
Mm-hmm.
So I think my longest day was like a 16-hour day. That was pretty brutal. I think I probably had hour break, something like that.
What do you make an hour?
I don't know what it was hourly, but every week it was like $650. They told me $600, but then threw an extra $50.
Dude, that is not enough to make. I'm sorry.
And that's Australian money.
Is it?
So it's worth a little less than the U.S. At the time, the conversion rate was $1.38 is worth $1 in the U.S. I think.
Quick question.
Yeah,
So
that's
when
a
you
lot.
guys, you were basically in a trailer, right? Was it a trailer or was it like a vehicle?
It was a trailer, so it was being.
You're getting pulled around.
Yeah.
When you drove to new places, were you just chilling in that trailer in the back?
No, actually, I got to ride with either one of the Bogans, who would listen to country music the entire way.
Oh my god.
And really, he was a nice dude to me, like, individually. It's
Mm-hmm.
just super inconsiderate otherwise. Or, like, the family that owned all the rides. And I had, like, ridden the semi, with the trailer being the whole setup for the bumper cars. So that was nice, too.
I get you needed money, but that is not nearly enough to make me go through what you had to go
By the
through.
way, we'll
That
throw a
is
picture.
so
Nate
fucking-
has
Yeah,
a couple pictures
Yeah,
of this
there were a
trailer that
couple.
we'll throw in.
Yeah, dude, it's.
I've only
fucked
seen one.
up.
You're making like 500 USD a week.
Sleeping on
I had to
dirt.
do it.
Sleeping on.
Dude, I guess.
I get
I did flip the
actual-
mattress and there wasn't mold on the other side. So, there was a plus.
Well,
to it.
There's the bonus of no mold.
At least you were smart enough to at least flip it over and see what was going on.
Yeah, and underneath the
Flip it
mattress
over.
was just like a sheet of wood. So, it was a foam mattress. It wasn't like an actual mattress.
Not like a springy.
No.
Jeez.
Flipped it over.
How'd you do
cockroach
laundry?
family.
How what?
How'd you do
Laundry.
laundry?
Where'd you shower?
So showers that have places set up for us, either like some place on the fairgrounds itself had like facilities for people, or they'd have temporary ones that they'd set up, and some of them were actually really nice and had hot water, so that was cool.
So some did not have hot
Some
water?
of them.
Yeah, one place I went to, I think there were 5 showers, and 3 of the shower heads were completely missing. 2 of them didn't work. There was like one that came out as a trickle, and it was cold. That place sucked. Yeah, this wasn't a good time in my life. In my travels, this was not good. It felt like a whole month.
Was this the low? Like the lowest low?
Probably, yeah. Yeah, it was the lowest level.
Whenever Nate would talk in chat, he'd just be like, "This fucking sucks." Every message from Nate in like our group chat was just,
And
I fucking hate this.
I didn't have internet most of the time. Like, even my cell service out there, like, I just didn't have it most places. So that sucked. So it would be, like, days off where I go to the bar. I actually, like, got their Wi-Fi. I finally get to communicate with people and complain about my life.
You're like, hey, I'm alive. Bogans didn't kill me.
Yeah, and I don't imagine. Yeah, speaking of that, I don't imagine this was like a safe situation at all.
I felt safe, but
The man had warrants out for him. Like,
Your roommates had a drug operation.
do you think back and think, man, I was actually like,
In
I could have just been killed.
Yeah.
Nobody would
what's
have
the-
done anything.
That's a good question, Luke. What's
Hindsight's
the, what's
20.
the
No, see,
hindsight
I-
looking like?
hindsight, I still would have done it because I had to.
Mm-hmm.
I never felt in danger by these people at all, because I became one of them. They said, "You're a real Aussie now." Like, this is
You barely go
like they accepted me.
That's like how you wean someone into a drug operation. Like, you're a real Aussie now. Hey, go drop this off to the dude 2 cars down. Like, what the fuck?
Yeah, I went drinking with them. Like, whenever we went to the bars, I'd always go with them. So I got to know them decently, as much as they were pain in my ass. It's like all I had, really.
Mm-hmm.
So I get to this one town called Miles, and I get there, and all the stuff that we packed. So this trailer that I was living out of was like, it was a game stand for like rubber ducks that you set up like a big square thing, fill it with water, ducks float around, they have numbers assigned underneath them.
man.
You get to pick 3 ducks if you pay like a certain amount of money.
I think I know where this is going.
Yeah, so all these ducks get put into these 55-gallon trash cans, and there's, I think, 3 of them, 2 or 3 of them. I don't know, but this shit's like dripping wet every time you use it. And that's where it goes in my room. So that's why it was wet the first night I get there. Well, after traveling to Miles, it must have been a bumpy ride because everything had dumped, like, off the shelves. It just, everything in there was just soaking wet. I had a laptop, and it was just covered in water. And that was, like, the breaking point for me. Like, if this thing is ruined, like, I'm going to be so mad. Like, this whole week was not worth it because I'm going to have to buy a new laptop. Like, and at this point, I think it was the 6th day we got there when it was a mess, or 7th. I think it was a week. I was a week in, and this like actually felt like a month of life to me. And this like right when we got there is when I decided, all right, I'm done here. And
Wait,
I
so you
was
were only a carny for a week?
It was 9 days total. So I worked a whole day after I get there. I get paid my $6.50 in cash, and my plan was on the 8th day, I'm like looking at buses out of town. Like I'm.
Jeez.
And on the 8th day, Corporal said, "Get me the fuck out of here."
Yeah. And I worked that whole day, just miserable as hell. You can always see when you go to like these fairs, like the people who are working them just look dead inside.
Mm-hmm.
No matter how much they're smiling, it's a dead smile. And that was me. And
It's like one of the saddest stories I've ever heard.
I mean, truly, I feel like I'm listening to the lowest low of a man's life. Like, honestly, that's what
It hurts me. I feel bad.
I have so much, like, sympathy for you because it sounds truly like the worst thing that you could ever do.
Like, I'm trying to imagine it, and I'm like, man, I'd fucking kill myself. That
Literally,
sounds awful.
as soon as you were describing your living conditions, I was immediately like, I would have broken down in tears, like, immediately. There would have been no, it's just for I need to do it. It would be like, I'll be homeless. Fuck this.
Oh boy, the domestic abuse drug couple that lives in the same trailer as me is having another spat while the man down the road is fucking screaming for no reason.
And like, you are easily the most resilient person mentally I think I've ever had a conversation with. I don't know how you're here. Like,
How
honestly, he
long,
was probably so goddamn tired he couldn't do anything about it.
you were describing it to us and saying that it sounded like a month. It felt like a month. You said that, and it was 9 days.
yes.
The way it sounded to me sounded like you were a carny for months.
Yeah,
like
it sounded
5,
way
like
longer.
6,
Yeah.
and 9 days of the most miserable shit I've ever heard in my life.
It was bad. It was pretty awful. But
Fuck, dude.
yeah, that 9th day, I wake up and I don't have a bus booked or anything because I just couldn't commit. Like, I didn't know what I was doing yet. I changed my plan. I was gonna go to the hotel, which they call like all the bars out there hotels basically, and I had started working. I think I worked until lunchtime, and then I'm like, fuck it, I can't do this. So I like clean myself up, go to the bathroom, I shave, make my hair look nice, get like good clothes on, and pack my shit. And I walk over to the booth where the lady collects the tokens to run the bumper cars. And I'm like, look, I can't do this anymore. I'm done right now. It doesn't really have to do much so with the work. It's more about the living conditions. Thank you for everything. Goodbye. And she's like, you're not going to finish working today? I'm like, no, I simply cannot do this. So that's the first time, and I think the only time I'll really ever walk out of a job. I wasn't too happy about that, but it was horrible.
How liberated did you feel?
I imagine there's probably stress though.
Yeah,
'cause,
of course, but like walking off, all is said and done, and you're out of the carnival, knowing you don't have to go back to run the Rubber Duck Festival.
You're walking out into the outback. All you hear behind you is carnival music. How did it feel?
Yeah, like,
It's getting fainter and fainter.
yeah, okay, so
we're following you as you walk. It's getting
So
smaller.
although
It's just walking into the unknown. Like, I wasn't really happy. It was relieving. I didn't have to do that, but I didn't know what I was gonna do because that was like the first time I didn't like. That's not true. I was about to say first time I didn't have a plan, but that was most of my travels. So, so yeah, I told her, yeah, you don't have to pay me for these like 1.5 days that I worked for you. I'm just gonna go. So I left. I walk across some train tracks that cut through to the town, go to the main road, walk into the bar, and ask the bartender. It's an older lady, not older. She's like 50s, and I'm like, how much is a room a night? And she tells me, and then she like asks me what's going on, where'd I come from? And I tell her like where I just came from. Like I was living out of a duck stand at the fair, and she's like,
Did she laugh at you?
I was living out of a duck stand at the fair.
she was kind of like in shock. She was like, wow, like what experience do you have? And I told her like I worked in the outback as a bartender already. And she just hired me on the spot. Like, dude.
let's get a round of applause for this man's walk. Holy shit.
That lady is an angel.
Yeah, shouts to her. That's amazing.
Shout out to Jackie, man. She
Jackie.
saved my life that day.
Yeah, you were homeless and
100%.
jobless. Like,
I had
almost
nothing for me at
broke.
that point. I had $6.50. Like when I got to Miles, I think I had like $7.30 in my bank account for Australia. I had some extra like emergency money back at home that I have to transfer, but I was trying my best not to spend that. But like getting into town with that much, and then like I finally got paid $6.50. It was like, all right, I don't need to do this.
Fuck,
So that's why I left.
That's
So-
wild.
I walk over, I find myself a job, and she's like, how about you go up in the room, rest for a few hours, come down whenever you want. I think I know somebody I could set you up with living. Because I couldn't really live out of her hotel. That it wasn't like the situation that you normally do.
Mm-hmm.
So she tells me about one of her friends in town who has like hosted his house for a lot of the bartenders who have all been women at this point. So I was the first dude who got this. And it's like this this 55-year-old or 50-something-year-old dude. And I meet him, I go over to his house, he shows me a room. So I'm just like sharing a house with some random Australian dude now. And I finally have a bed, I have my own room, it's got like a TV, I've got Wi-Fi, no Wi-Fi, sorry.
No mold.
No Wi-Fi, no mold.
It's not wet.
No.
No
You have a
jobs.
bathroom.
I have a bath.
Do you have an
dude.
air conditioner?
Yes.
Oh,
An air
wow.
conditioner. Like
The
this
high
was
life.
this was like an overwhelming change for me, like of just relief. Like my life just like went from the lowest point to like I'm like a king now. Like this is the first time I think in all my travels where like I had a legit like place to stay that like felt comfortable. Because in hostels, you're sharing rooms with like
3 or 4.
No, it's more people.
More people?
Yeah, the ones I went to always had like a lot. It's like probably at least 8 bunk beds. So having a room by myself, like that whole different change. That was actually a nice room. No window in this one either, but that's all right. It doesn't matter.
Something like views and you don't get along.
No, I guess not.
You just don't get a window.
He's the luckiest man in the world when it comes to getting jobs and just being lucky, but he will never have a window.
No.
Do you push the button? You're the luckiest man alive. You never get a window.
You get the best window, but you work as a carnie.
9 days feel like a month.
Quote,
You can stretch time, but it's going to be hell.
quote unquote, I was living out of the duck stand.
If someone walked up to me and said that, I'd have to laugh. I'd be like, what the fuck?
I would be like, you want to
Honey, come
live
in for a hug. You need
Yeah,
some
do you
time
want to live in my
off.
house?
I'd laugh and then give him a job just like she did to you.
Yeah.
I'd give him a job after that.
So, I'm living at this house. I don't think that this dude might not. He left town most of the time, like doing travel work. So I had like the whole house to myself most of the time.
Mm-hmm.
But like that first night I get there, I remember it was like the last night of the fair. That's when they were supposed to pack up and leave. And there was like everybody in town goes. This was a town of 1,700 people, I think. So even smaller.
Jeez.
So everybody goes to this place, and that night they were shooting fireworks, and I was staying away from that as far as I could, and I just remember like hearing fireworks, and I just like walked outside, like walked out the driveway, see the fireworks, realized my situation, and I just started like bawling, like just out in the open, like I was just that was super emotional for me. I don't know why, but.
Like just being away from that and having a comfortable place to stay, or
Yeah, just like everything in total at that point. I realized like that was a horrible situation that I was in, and I like finally have a life for myself that I'm comfortable with. So I'm at this place for 3 months now. Or I live there for like 3 months.
Mm-hmm.
So Miles was an interesting place. I got to know people pretty well there, especially since it was even a smaller town. Any questions about Miles?
Is that where you like met the locals and stuff? Like you knew their drinks, their orders?
Yeah, I mean it was the same with the other bar too. There'd be people who'd come in, and I'd already have like the drink pouring for them because I knew what they're gonna get. Like I see them pulling up, or I see their car or whatever.
That'd be the most cash money thing ever. You just
Yeah.
walk in, your drink's already ready. You're like,
he's like, "Hey, foreign American guy, what's going
never
on?"
fucking leave.
I do have a question on a more serious note. Like, you did say that was like a very emotional moment for you. So do you find that it's kind of like an emotional thing to talk about the subject of like going through all this? Like, does it like kind of like tug at you a little bit?
No, not really. For me, it's just like I laugh at a lot of things, so I can look back at that and just like be laughing, like what was going on in my life at this point. Like this, I'm happy to tell this story. Don't really feel emotional telling it like that, like how I felt.
I also have a very serious question. Did you ever think of just coming back to America at any point?
That's a good point.
Like, instead of becoming a carnie, did you ever think I could just go back to America?
Nah, that's never really crossed my mind. Because like the visa you get lasts for a year, and I wanted to make it for most of that. Because I don't know, it's just like my goal. I told people initially I was gonna, go to Australia for 6 months because I didn't actually have a plan.
I remember he told us, and we did not believe him. Like, we
Yeah.
would make jokes like,
Dude, it was the meme.
yeah, it was like,
It
oh,
was.
Nate's going to Australia, and then one day he fucking goes. We're like,
Yeah,
oh, shit.
like I see, like he's in
Like, I didn't-
Hawaii one day. I'm like, where the what?
I didn't show you guys proof or anything. I'm just like, yes, I'm going to Australia to live there for like 6 months or something. And everybody was just like clowning on me. Like,
Yeah.
Like, we would, me, Alex, and Joe would like be drinking or something. We're like, of Corporal's not going to fucking Australia. We're just waiting for the meme to end. It's a dead bit.
I remember talking to Josh and Kyle about this, and they're like, we're going to feel like such assholes, like, if he actually goes to Australia, because we've been making fun of him for, like, a month. And, yeah, I finally go, and they're like, wait, what?
Yeah, I'm going to hit Corporal up, see if he wants to hang out.
Because you guys would all joke about, like, how I wouldn't go, but I'd never defend myself. Like, I just, like, leave it in the air, like, you'll see.
You were like, dude, I'm serious, I'm really going.
Yeah.
You were just like, yeah, that's good.
You thought it was a bit, and I was okay with leaving it at that.
The more I
respect
hear,
it.
the more I hear about the little details, the more I'm like, let's contact a studio.
I know, dude. Let's make it.
like you guys not believing him, crying in the driveway while watching fireworks of a place he once was at.
Getting like roughhoused by dogs in the Philippines.
Fucking pretty much arrested on the street for filming a royal.
Every part about this is like a movie. Your life, that year of your life was like a major motion picture.
It was One Night Malaysia.
We're gonna have to work on the title.
One Night in Malaysia, but that's like that is probably the least significant part of my entire travel. Like the one night
That's why
stand.
people wanted to name the movie One Night in
Yeah,
Malaysia.
that's the perfect title for
It
it.
has
beauty of
nothing to
it.
do.
It's
It's 1/365th of the fucking story.
You could call it "Flip the Mattress."
No, that's retarded.
Oh, One Night in Malaysia is a lot better.
Dude, it's a.
I think it's better than Flip the Mattress.
Think about it. He flipped the mattress from where the mold was to the
That
good
sounds like a
mattress.
sex
Jay,
move.
it's
Yeah?
It's listen to me. It's powerful because it shows little significance and it's artistic.
You got a fucking Van Gogh over here. Spitting
It's
balls.
beautiful because it plays such a minor role in.
I
such
don't
a
want it to
major
be One Night in
story.
Malaysia.
Fuck you. Fuck me. Fuck
No, dude, it fucking
Nah,
works.
I'm against One Night in Malaysia
Yeah,
now.
fuck you. Fuck all of us. It doesn't matter what we want it to be called. Corporal, if you had to make this a movie, what would you title it?
Clearly, One Night in Malaysia. I can read everyone's mind.
See, One Night in Malaysia, it sounds like just like a title of a cliche movie to me.
Sounds like an Adam Sandler
Sounds like
movie.
The Hangover.
Yeah, it does.
It does sound like The Hangover.
Sounds like an Adam Sandler.
It sounds like an Adam Sandler movie.
But I don't know what else I'd call it. 'Cause,
Drunken Bisbee.
Drunken
Becoming Bogan.
I like that one.
So,
Ride the Ute.
where are we at right now? We
We're in
are.
Miles.
So we're in Miles.
We're still in Miles.
Okay.
Yeah.
The fireworks have just gone off. He's lived
No,
there for
he's
3
been
months.
working.
he's
3 months. We've been in Miles.
Yeah,
for 3
so
months now.
in Miles, my job, it's not just a bartender at this place. There's like a bottle shop, which is the alcohol store that's connected to the side. And I was also like the food delivery of the thing. And in these small outback towns, you can just like call like from anywhere and just be requested to get taken to the bar or to go home, and we'll do it for free. Just because everything's so close.
That's pretty cool.
It's like stops,
like
keeps
a-
drunken driving down.
I think they have a service like that in Japan.
Oh, they do. That's right.
So that was my job. I had to relearn how to drive stick in this big ass van. That
Was it a Ute?
No, it wasn't a Ute, unfortunately. I did get to drive a Ute at one point though.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Augers.
Yeah.
Oh, actually, question about like license. Did you need to get an international driving license, or were they just like have at it, chief?
I think certain countries might require it, but the U.S. doesn't. Maybe it does, and I just didn't care. I never looked into it. Yeah.
They were like the one cop you've served alcohol for 4 days straight. I think he's fine with you driving around.
Driving, that Miles was the first time I had to drive since I had like sold my car back in. I don't know when it was. Probably like July or early August. I think I did. It was like July 2018, and at this point, I get to Miles, and it's either mid-May of 2019 or I think it's mid-May, and I get to driving pretty quick, and it's kind of strange transitioning from one side of the road to the other. The thing, like, it's easy to pick it up, like, super quick, but things that always, like, get me were the turn signal and wipers, because those are also switched.
Oh,
So-
it's on the right hand?
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
Those are the ones that just, like, always take the longest for me. there was a couple times where I did drive on the wrong side of the road. Like one time I was taking a nap and I was given a call. I had to pick up something from somewhere in a hurry, and I was just not awake enough. And I remember I pull out onto this main road where cars go quick out there, and it took me probably a good 15 seconds to realize I'm driving on the wrong side of the road. Luckily there's no cars that I came across, but that freaked me out quite a bit. I felt like an idiot. Another time was just I was leaving a McDonald's and I pulled out onto the road where I had to turn right onto the highway. And normally you take a right turn and you just you go when it's red, when there's no cars coming. Mm-hmm. And I'm in the right lane, and across from me there's a car that's face on with me, and he's probably just looking at me like I'm in the wrong lane. He doesn't know what I'm doing. That was a pretty embarrassing moment too.
What's this bogan doing?
Yeah.
Becoming bogan. It's growing on me.
Becoming bogan.
I like becoming bogan.
Yeah, I'm cool with it.
Yeah.
So how long were you in Miles?
Miles, I was there for 3 months. And at this point, I had met a girl, and I moved in with her for the last month or so that I had lived there. Yeah, in Miles.
Okay.
So my plan, it was getting early August, and my plan was to go home and surprise my parents on my birthday. Mm-hmm. And that's what I did. They knew I was coming home because they asked me if I'm going to be home in time for some wedding that was the 24th. And I'm like, yeah, I'll make it. I'll be there for the wedding. And they're like, oh, great. When are you coming home? I'm like, I'll be there for the wedding. I never told them a date.
And we are back. Had to do a little quick camera thing, manage some storage. And we just left off at, he moved in with a girl that he met in Miles.
Yeah.
Talked about going back for a wedding.
Yeah. So I didn't give any estimate on or any specific date. I think I kept it to 3, maybe 4 people I told I was coming back home to. It was my sister, my cousin, and maybe Kyle, because I planned on showing up. Yeah, there's some. I was surprised.
Hey, Cone.
Cone was dog sitting for someone, and he was having a couple people over, and I had hidden in some laundry closet.
I fucking remember this. We were
watching Snoop.
Yeah, Kyle was watching Snoop. Me, you,
Josh.
Josh. I don't know if Matt was there yet.
We were playing Mario Kart, right?
Oh wait,
Mario Party.
No. He was reading you guys a story that I'm not going to talk about.
Yeah.
Is Mitch Ipmunk the main character?
Yeah. He was reading that to you guys, and I think that's when I came out, and I planned on continuing into the story. I'd pick up where he was going, and I had it on my phone ready.
That's so beautiful. That's just lovely.
So it was a fun way to surprise people to show up back at home. And I also surprised my parents. My sister took me from the airport. I got home, and I was in my room. I'd crashed many hours sleep, and I wake up, and they're at the dinner table eating. And I go upstairs, and I'm like, oh, sorry, I'm late for dinner. That was, and it was my birthday at this point too. I'd show up on my
You're having dinner. You hear someone walking down the stairs oh, that's weird. Nobody's home other than us. And it's yeah, sorry, I'm late for dinner.
It's our son we haven't seen for over a year.
Yeah, sorry, I'm late.
So that was a pretty fun way to come home. And so I didn't get the full year because I think I would have had to stay till the 31st, but I don't care. That was a good way to go back.
Very close.
Yeah. So that was a good year in Australia. I highly recommend doing it whenever it's available to go back.
There it is, the name of the movie. A Good Year in Australia.
Good year in Australia.
Good year in the outback. Are you planning on going back?
I had planned to go back. It's probably around this time last year. I applied for a visa again.
Wait, are you planning to do another year?
I planned to initially, because it's $400 or $370 to get the visa, So I've already paid that, and then COVID happened, and everything was put on hold. So I haven't heard anything about that, and all the boards are shut for who knows how long.
So when you go back, you're going to do another year. Do you have a game plan, or are you just going to fly by the seat of your pants?
Honestly, I have no idea. Still, with my life, I don't know what I'm doing. Might be buying a house this year, or I might hold off, and if everybody gets vaccinated, I might go back to Australia for another year. I don't know what I'm doing.
Well, if you go back, we're gonna come pay you a visit. I mean, I've definitely, I know you've brought it up, like, it's 5 in Australia, and goddamn do I want to.
I know,
especially after hearing this story.
Yeah, this is
like,
I'd love to go.
This is quite the tale.
It was a good year of my life. It was probably the best choice I ever made to just leave somewhere in my life and decide to make a change.
I mean, given everything that happened in that year, like you lived through like 3 lifetimes of people. Like, there's some people that never leave their state.
Yeah, or they're a small town, as I met many people in the outback, and
right.
I just don't know how they can live like that. I don't know. It wasn't for me. I gotta go somewhere.
Like, you lived multiple lifetimes in that single year. That's insane.
It feels like it now. Like, talking about all this stuff.
Like, dude, it's when you put it into perspective, that is wild stuff. That is crazy.
All crammed into a year.
Yeah.
I want to do it again, but I can't.
It'll happen. It'll happen. Things are
back.
looking pretty good.
I hope.
Yeah. Wood.
Yeah, the Australians are waiting for you.
Yeah.
Australians say touch wood, by the way.
touch wood.
Yeah, they don't say knock on wood.
Touch wood.
So
yeah, it is a little strange.
I don't want to go to Australia now. I don't want them touching wood around me.
Bogans, man. What's with them?
my final question, for me at least, would be when you go back, is there like one person you want to go see and be like, hey, it's me, remember me, that fucking backpacking kid?
I would definitely go back to Clone Curry to pay them a visit, because there's a big ass American flag hanging there for me.
No.
Yeah.
No,
like in the bar, yeah.
What? Just for you?
Backpackers, like, they typically left like small flags that went like around the windows, but like my sister revisited that town after I had left, and like I made her get like a full size like American flag to hang up there for me.
So there's a full-size American flag hanging in that bar for you?
Oh yeah.
Hanging in an Australian bar.
I don't know if they had an American at that point. I may have been one of the first. I can't remember, but at the time I was out in that town, there were like 6 Americans, and at that point in Australia, I had not like met almost any Americans. So it was kind of weird. You go out in the middle of nowhere, all of a sudden, it's just like everybody. You can just.
Corporal
From
walks in the
US?
bar, he's like, hey, it's my flag. And they're like, what the fuck?
That is
That's
amazing.
fucking awesome.
Would you like to go back and visit Jackie, I think her name?
Jackie, for sure. I'd pay her a visit. Yeah,
I would see
legend.
Jackie again.
She was a sweetheart.
There's a lot of people out there that I'd be happy to see. I got invited to. The guy I was living with owned like an opal, like a plot of land for opal mining, where it's just like random place in the outback where there's just tons of holes that dug straight under the ground. You take a ladder down there and you get opals, or you search for opals. And I was supposed to go, but I couldn't fit it in before I left. So it'd be cool if I could do that.
Would it be an opal miner?
Yeah.
Dude,
not like as a job, but just to do for like
Oh.
a weekend or something.
Dude, you're living the movie Holes.
Start eating raw onions.
Just like Shrek.
Well, that's...
Why'd you have to make a wholesome story unwholesome?
Are you telling me Shrek's not a wholesome movie?
Bro, he
It's a tale of overcoming diversity.
Briskly walks to that dragon.
Shrek is a good movie.
It's
It
a tale
is.
of overcoming
Shrek is a great-
diversity
Shrek is a
and
great
becoming
movie.
one with yourself and feeling comfortable in your own skin, Alex.
Just saying.
And
That's pretty fucked.
And that's the message that this episode was trying to get across.
Shrek's a good movie.
No.
Speaking of something
Space
wholesome, I can't imagine, because I've never had one myself, but a great wholesome meal of Hungry Man just sounds delicious at this point. And Jay, I'm going to pass this to you since I've never had it, but, you know, I think you can cover for this episode since I had to call you out on skipping last time.
Why, thanks, Corporal. I was really waiting for this moment to appreciate one of our sponsors. Hungry Man is a nice, wholesome, filling meal provided to the hungry man since 1970-something. Hungry Man has been feeding the working man and Aussies alike to make sure that you can fit in all of your journeys between being a carnie and being a bartender. Hungry Man, if you could send us $14,000 and a Wi-Fi router, we can use that money to send Corporal back to the outback where he can do scouting to make sure that you can get your products out to these people in such places as Cock and Balls and Miles. Hungry Man, this is the Hello Harem Podcast asking once again, sorry I forgot one time, please hit us up at helloharempodcast@gmail.com. Follow us on Spotify, Apple Music, and Anchor. And if you have any questions, you can hit me up at my phone number, which will be in the description below. Thank you, Hungry Man. This has been Jonathan Semmer of the Hello Harem Podcast, signing off.
Thank you.
Wow, that was nicely done.
Great plug.
Thank you.
You guys have any questions? Any burning desires?
I'm ready to get plastered with the man.
You know,
legend.
You
I've got one last question.
Go ahead.
Have you guys liked, commented, and subscribed to this episode on our channel yet on YouTube? If you haven't, head on over Hello Harem on YouTube or send us an email at helloharempodcast@gmail.com.
Yeah.
I almost said helloharem@podcast.com.
Luke, that would be really sweet. But do you know what else is really sweet?
What?
Honey!
There's been like 10 episodes.
Honey can save you lots of...
Honey offers great discounts on online websites when you shop using their little online extension browser. Use code HelloHarem whenever the fuck we get it, because we still haven't been sponsored by you, Honey. I'm still talking to you right now. Please send us the fucking email back. Yeah, that's it.
And remember, Honey can save you...
Money!
Yeah, there we
I
go.
think that's it for me.
Sencho, I'm still single.
Yep, kick him in the fucking balls.
All right.
Given this is an anime-related podcast, you guys gonna talk about anime?
Not
Actually,
today.
my anime question all right, two things. You don't really watch anime. No, you don't. He has seen 5 episodes of Diary of Our Days of the Breakwater. Breakwater. He's seen One Punch Man.
Mm-hmm.
And behind you there are 4 lovely ladies. Nate, you get to choose one. Who is your waifu of the Hello Harem Podcast
Take a
room?
look at them.
Other than Saber.
Purple's rounding the corners.
They are each assigned to one of us, too, so you're basically wanting to
Yeah.
get with one of us as well.
Are they all of age?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, sure.
No, they are.
No, they're all of
Yeah,
age. They're all of age.
So you have Asya, Akano, Rias, and Koneko.
Keep in mind, each of us are assigned to one of these girls.
Oh, I'm gonna have to go with Kanaku.
Oh, he went with Cat.
Let's go!
She's a cat girl.
Nya.
Yeah.
Yeah, alright.
There we
Before we
go.
do close out, Corporal does have a waifu, actually. We were in Japan, and he randomly saw the first girl animated and claimed it as waifu, and that is Saber from Fate.
See, I always forget her name, so
He tenderly and lovingly cares for her.
very, very much.
Get her name.
Also, we'll throw down his SoundCloud. He does have some pretty epic beats, and he does have an EP that was pretty much dedicated to his time in Japan called The Great Wave, which I do own a physical copy of.
Copy. There's like, how many are there? 10?
There's actually 50. I haven't sold them all. I went a little overboard on ordering them, but I think 50 was the lower limit I could buy.
Would it be possible for us to get a copy of The Great Wave to put on the podcast?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
That would be fantastic.
I have one in my car for you guys.
Wow, that'd be great.
Pay for it, 'cause I
Yeah, we
support
will
you
pay
as
for it.
artists.
Cheers.
Make sure you guys check out Corporal and his music. That would be greatly appreciated. He took his time to come and share his story with us. And I think at the very least, the way we could repay him is by asking our beloved viewers to support him as an artist.
Yeah.
So thank you.
The link to his SoundCloud will actually be in the description below. So
We say a lot of things will be in the description and they never make
This
it there.
actually
It will be there.
And like we mentioned previously, he the beat or the music we use for the podcast and mostly every single video is Corporal's work. So if you guys like that, you'll like a lot of the other stuff he makes. So I highly encourage you to go check out his link. If you need stuff done, hit him up. He makes music all the fucking time, and it's really good.
He's
So,
currently working on one for me right now. I actually made one called Loon that he sent me, which is a fucking
yeah,
bop.
no, it's a bop. It's a
And
bop.
then he's working on another one. I commissioned one.
So hit his stuff up. He'd really appreciate it. We would really appreciate it from the Hello Harem. Much love to him.
We love
And,
you guys.
Yeah, we love you. So, Corporal, thank you so fucking much for sharing.
Hey,
that
thank you for having me.
experience.
I've enjoyed listening to every episode. It's what I look forward to on Mondays as I'm working.
That's right.
That's
Always
what we
have
like
a
to
plan,
hear.
so it's good to be on here with you guys.
Thank you for setting sail with the horny homies.
Yep.
We had some heavy seas this trip,
Yeah,
but
this was a good one.
We had to fight off some carnie pirates, some bogan
Some
pirates.
dogs.
some
Some dogs.
dogs, some wild sea dogs. But we made it to land
Sea
safely,
dogs.
and that is the end of today's episode of the Hello Harem Podcast. As always, guys, thank you very much for listening to not only us but Corporal's story. Go subscribe on YouTube, like, comment, and share this podcast if you found anything interesting. We really appreciate it. Go to our Spotify, follow us. We have weekly videos and weekly podcasts coming out. So thank you guys very much. We'll catch you next week.
Signing off.
Signing off.
Signing off.